So don't do that. You don't fuzz your record. अगर delay भी है, accept genuine delay. हम भी अगर कोर्ट में फंसते हैं, पुलिस वाले इसलिए फंसते हैं because we manipulate our record. So don't do that. Because that proves that intentionally you're not right. You're not truthful. And why should a doctor kill a patient? क्यों मारेगा वो? He would, in every probability, like a patient to be alive and come again and again, given the fees. Why would somebody want your patient मर जाए? So don't ever do that. जो मुझे लगता है सबसे बड़ी दिक्कत ये होती है record के पास. There was a nursing home in Central District when I was posted the year before last. A पुराना case था. They were not technical. They brought the case to me, and finally we got it. He was trying to fudge his record. Patient को post operative. First of all, the patient was cleared in. वो prove हुआ cheating. She was cleared for some cosmetic surgery, some odd surgery. She got there due to the complications of anesthesia. BP went down, not recordable. उसके बाद resuscitation का नहीं किया, and then she never put on drugs which were supposed to be, or then they manipulated her BP and all. अगर BP वो दे रहे हैं जब बाद में दवाई ना दी तो और confident. So he had no escape. Documents ने मरवाया हमको finally. So don't do that.
Hello, Dr. Rajiv. My question is, we doctor says that we don't know much about the legal aspect. We should know. But once doctor is arrested, his reputation has gone to the downside. He is so panicky. Practice destroyed. My point is whether he should be arrested. Decision will be taken afterward, whether he was guilty, negligent, rash, whatever the legal term may be. He should not be arrested prima facie right at the moment. That is my point. What the law says about this.
Let's stop getting let me answer this question. Then I'll come back.
तो डॉक्टर साहब आपका क्वेश्चन है कि डॉक्टर शुड नॉट बी अरेस्टेड. देखिए सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि एक कॉग्निजेबल ऑफेंस अगर कमिट होता है, then police gets the jurisdiction to arrest the man immediately. He need not to wait for any warrant or otherwise. And this act may be negligent or otherwise, it's a cognizable offence, and the court can, and the police can arrest him. No special protection is to be given to the doctor or has been given to the doctor or anybody else. Even a prime minister of the country can be arrested if a cognizable offence has been committed by him. And the recent example is our respected Prime Minister Sir Narasimha Rao faced the trial, was convicted, remained in jail, and he was also arrested. No special protection.
Sir, we are saying right at the spot when the death has occurred, who will decide whether it is a cognizable or non-cognizable? And why doctor should be arrested without going into the investigation and without proving the things? That is my point. If we found guilty, we should be arrested. Nobody is above the law. My point is, on the spot, somebody is doing operation, patient dies, why should be arrested at that moment? That is my point.
The board who will decide whether the doctor was negligent or not. As it was noted by, when they pointed out by Dr. Chaturvedi, the matter is, you see, referred to the medical board. He decides whether the doctor has been negligent on that or not. If a person dies in the hospital during the course of treatment, and the patient's attendant or relative files a complaint against him in the police station, then the police comes, if the patient dies or something, whether at that moment of time, who will decide that the doctor should be arrested or not?
Let me clarify this once again. That arrest is the power vested with the police. And as both the Honorable Judge and Dr. Sunil said, that nobody is above law. But despite that, I would go beyond and tell you that there are three broad grounds on which a person has to be arrested. One is that he will abscond. One, that he'll run away. Number two, if he stays there, if he is not arrested, he will manipulate the records. And number three, he will threaten the witnesses or he'll buy the witnesses, whatever way. So in case there is a threat to the evidence, then nobody stops you from arresting. These are the three broad grounds where we normally arrest. And if the apprehension by the complainant is that, for example, if a doctor is left with his case file in the hospital without arrest, there's every possibility the records will be manipulated. So that could be one reason. It depends on case to case. I'm again saying it is not a blanket thing what I'm telling you here. It depends on case to case basis. But in general, when you arrest, you only arrest when a person is likely to abscond, is likely to manipulate the evidence, is likely to threaten people or change his records. These are the three broad categories.
But the arresting say IPC 304A, the doctor can get bail hardly 4 to 6 hours from the police station and he need not to go to the court. So all three things he can still done after getting the bail from police station.
It's not that. Because once you get a bail, you're produced before the court within 24 hours. So it is not like that. If you're given a bail, then you're free. You go before the court, and if the court feels that yes, conditions are to be imposed upon the person alleged, then the court is free to do so. And nobody stops the court. If the court is even feeling that it is not to be let scot-free, you can send the person behind bars to judicial custody as well.
Dr. Deepak, can we proceed to the next, or will be short of time?
Is it mandatory to get postmortem done in the case of complaint against the doctor? And what will police do if the attendant refuses to go for postmortem?
The postmortem is an extension of the inquiry. Basically, it is a part of the investigation where you're trying to find out the truth as to what led to the cause of death of the patient. Now, nobody can, in these cases when an FIR is registered, there is no provision that postmortem cannot be done. It is nobody's choice. It is mandatory under the law that a PM has to be done. There is no instance where you can, neither the police, nor the court, nor anybody else can waive off the postmortem.
Now the most burning question of today. How should a doctor manage a case of unexpected death from attendant's reaction point of view?
My views are I think, Doctor, you were referring to something. Why doctors are beaten and they say कि आप पढ़े लिखे हैं, लोग मार देते हैं, emotional people है. Is it not partly true? मेरे दोस्त पिटे हैं, हम पिटे तो नहीं, हम गिरे जरूर हैं जब हम कैजुअलिटी मेडिकल ऑफिसर थे. बट कहीं ना कहीं देखिए दिक्कत क्या सिस्टम में, जैसे ही पेशेंट आता है सरकारी अस्पताल की हम बात करें, ही इज नोवेयर. ना क्लास 4 एम्प्लॉइज के साथ है, ना डॉक्टर साथ है, ना रेजिडेंट साथ है, ना स्टाफ की पैरामेडिकल स्टाफ की हेल्प है. ही इज ऑन हिज ओन और कोई सुन के राजी नहीं. तो अगर आप देखें पेशेंट का जो what do you call reaction towards medical fraternity starts right from the time he doesn't get an ambulance to transport him from his house to the hospital. One, when he enters the hospital, then all these experiences add on. फिर कंप्लेंट शुरू होती है कि मेरे पेशेंट को अटेंड नहीं किया जा रहा. बिकॉज फॉर हिम अ मायोकार्डियल अरेस्ट और एनी अदर सर्जरी इज ऑफ नो इंपॉर्टेंस. उसके लिए सबसे प्राइम है उसका मरीज. वो कहेगा मेरे वाले मरीज को आपने अटेंड नहीं किया, उसको चाहे बॉयल हो, कार्बन हो, व्हाटएवर, उसके लिए वो प्राइमरी है. ही इज नॉट बॉदर्ड आपके अस्पताल में क्या चल रहा है. एंड इफ वी फेल टू अटेंड दैट एड्स ऑन, then they start complaining. And once the doctor is off, for example, you may be busy in OT, but if he needs you at the casualty or somewhere else in the ward, doctor available नहीं है, nobody explains if the doctor is in the OT, and he will not understand कि डॉक्टर साहब 4 घंटे से नहीं आए तो सर्जरी में क्या करें. वो कहेगा डॉक्टर साहब आ नहीं रहे, मैं बुला रहा हूँ. For him, you are like God, and you are not appearing before his prayer. He's saying it, he's pleading before the staff. They will not pay any heed, and I don't think staff is always a pride in responding to these patients. अगर हम ये चीजें ठीक कर लेना 4-5 शुरू की, तो जब तक बात आप तक आती है काफी चीजें स्टिक आती जाएंगी. Let me tell you, it's everywhere in the police station. If a guy comes to a police station, he'll be happy because it's a human behavior that we have our superheroes. अरे आज मेरे पास आ गया तो मैं तुम्हें जवाब दूंगा. Everybody has this ego here. So unless all these things are streamlined, तो मैं समझता हूँ काफी हद तक ठीक हो जाएगा. And if it is explained कि डॉक्टर साहब is busy, he is doing this, बच्चे की जान इसमें है या उसका ये हो रहा, I think everybody understands. Or maybe a junior doctor attends, but there's no one at times. And in a private hospital, he is paying for his services, and despite that, he doesn't get services to his satisfaction. So here, it is not treatment. If I compare a private setup or a corporate setup with a government setup, in a government setup, it is not service delivery. It is a treatment of the patient. In a private setup, the guy is concerned about returns of the value he is giving to you. He is giving you money. He will expect returns, and he says, "Doctor, हमने बुलाया, आए क्यों नहीं?" For you, you are a qualified person. बोले क्या यार दर्द है ये ठीक है हो जाएगा. For you, it is a normal thing. For him, it is like heavens are going to fall on his head. डॉक्टर ये जब तक गैप नहीं कवर होगा, I think it's complaint and cross complaints ये चीजें चलती रहेंगी. We as the what do you call the educated class, the onus is on us to make changes, to endeavor a change. I'm not saying they're not wrong. They're wrong, but with them is a combined bundle of ignorance, lack of awareness, illiteracy, prejudices, which we just cannot get into. So I think it has to be both ways.
Sorry, I have one very practical thing. These days, there is a lot of discussion going on in WhatsApp. I have seen myself on WhatsApp, we are posting certain investigations, taking opinion of the people who are in that group only. It's very common these days. Can these taken up as an evidence against the doctor and put up in the court of law? In the court of law, can all these evidences, because we have discussed in confidence that this patient has got this problem and please suggest what can we do now, what these are the findings, what can we do now. So now the patient, suppose he expires. Now, and somebody of that group only leaks all these opinions to the patient. Can these be taken against the doctor? Number two, there is a endoscopic procedure or surgical procedure is being recorded in the operation theatre, and we do record endoscopies and we record the findings. Can we present this in the conference without patient's consent, or consent is mandatory? Because we whatever we present, we don't say the name of the patient. We only say that this is the endoscopic procedure we have done. So for that also, do we need the patient's consent, or can we present in the conference?
There are two things. Let's consider this WhatsApp. Now, if you're opining about someone's condition on a WhatsApp, what you're doing is you're generating a document. You're generating a document. It is as good as a case file that you've made in your clinic or at your hospital or wherever. So, if that is incriminating, I think that is admissible in the court of law. It is a foolproof evidence. One. And the second one, as regards the videography that we're doing, since the videography is with the consent of the patient, it is his absolute right to give his consent before you share it with anybody else. And you should not be sharing it without his consent, whether it is a conference or anywhere. And even while sharing, you should not be disclosing the identity of the patient.
So my question is that as you said that the patient is not getting the proper treatment when he goes to the hospital. He does not get the proper treatment, the patient is not seen by the doctor, and that is why there is a concern in the mind of the attendant and they react like that. Do you think it is not the fault of the governance of the state and the country which is responsible, and the management of the hospital or the center for which a poor doctor and the staff gets beaten up unnecessarily?
You're absolutely right, Doctor. Just I think he'll beg to differ from my view. But जो आप कह रहे हैं, I'm absolutely in agreement with what you have said. The fundamental governance is at fault, and doctor is a vital part, a vital component of the governance as regards healthcare. You cannot say healthcare, like if policing is wrong, then I'm an integral part. I may be devoted to whatever level or to the best possible effort of mine, but I just cannot diverge it and can get away with saying that I'm not a part of it. I'm a part of the fundamental governance which is failing this country. All of us in fact are. So it has to change. I'm not saying that this is the only cause. What I'm saying is kindly look at that aspect. For example, if you are having a patient from your family, can you go to any hospital without a reference and get him treated? You definitely call your colleague or someone else and then get a treatment done. Today, if I know 5 of the doctors here, then I'll definitely call them up before I get a treatment for my family or for myself. So why this?